here, and you're visiting the Neal's homestead. Last April, old guy and I bought half of a pig from an Amish family near us, and we butchered it. On that day, I took all of the scraps that I wanted to grind and cut them into sizable pieces that would go into my grinder. All summer long, I was too busy to get it done, and so I took those pieces out of the freezer just yesterday, and today I'm going to grind them using my LEM meat grinder. Thanks for coming along. I'll briefly show you as I put it together. I'll use big grinding disc first, rough grind it first. This pan sets on top. This little place here sets over the handle to stabilize it and hold it into place. You put the meat in here, poke it down with this. If you want to make casing sausages, you would use these funnels. There are 3 different sizes. Today I'm not going to use that because I'm only going to grind loose meat. Since we've had a kitchen that is licensed and we make bread for a farmer's market, I have access to these large bowls, stainless steel bowls that are very handy to have around for a big job like this. I froze my meat in plastic freezer bags, 1 gallon size. So I'll dump those in here real quick. When I cut up my meat to put it in the freezer, I cut it in strips like this that would fit down inside the channel of my grinder, long and kind of thin, so that it would be easier. It just seemed easier to do it at that point than to have to do it after I thawed out and I'm ready to grind. I'll show you how it works whenever I put it in there. The screw down at the bottom basically catches the meat and goes ahead and pulls it through. There's no fighting with trying to get little pieces in there, and it just pulls it through and chops it up really quickly. Something I very much like about this grinder is it has a plastic cover over the switch, so that you don't have to worry about, if your hands are kind of messy, that you're going to gum up all the works here. It's easily wiped off. And we'll go ahead and get that turned on. I've got it ground once the first time, so I need to switch out the blades and grind it again. Got a new bowl. And we'll just do it over into the tray up here and keep going. At this point, it takes a little more poking it down in there to keep it fed into the blades. So I'll have to be actively up at the pan on top to do that. I got all the meat ground, got the grinder out of the way, and now it's time to package up the meat and put it in the freezer. Because there are only 2 of us, I will probably put it in approximately 1-pound packages. I will use Ziploc bags that are quart size, and that ought to do it. And I don't have any idea how many I'm going to come up with, but let's find out. The first thing I'll do is take my empty bags and a permanent marker and write the month, which is 10, and the year, which is 18 on here, and I'll write pork. I have run into problems where I put stuff in my freezer without doing something like that and had questions later, so it's easier just to go ahead and label them, and it's also easier to do them before you start filling them instead of later. Sometimes I use a little kitchen scale to make the initial weigh so I can get an idea of how much a pound looks like. Sometimes I don't. I'm not that picky. So I'm just going to stuff this in here. Well, that's 17.3 ounces, but I'm okay with that. I'll make the next one a little bit lighter. $5, $10, $15, plus 3 more, 18 pounds. Plus I have a bit here that I'm gonna keep out of the freezer. We'll eat some for lunch and have some for breakfast in the morning probably. After I get it packaged up, I will partially close it, then lay it down flat and start mashing, flattening it out, pushing the air out, and then as it reaches a fairly flat stage, I'll go ahead and close it up. This gives me good storage for it because I can stack them up, and it's pretty efficient in my freezer, and I've just found that that's a good way to do it. Instead of wadding it all up into a clump, I flatten it down. With the packages mashed flat, I can put them in this box and just layer them up, and I can put them in my freezer like that, and they will freeze, and we will be done except for cleanup. And that worked great. And that completes another job on the Neil's homestead. I'm just gonna fry up some of this pork burger for lunch, and old guy and I are gonna sit down and enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining. If you like what you see on our channel, please subscribe, and then hit that little bell that's beside the subscribe button on our channel, and then you'll be notified whenever we put up a new video so that you won't miss anything. And we'll see you next time.